Are we live? Yes, yes, we are live. Hello, hello, everybody. Hello, Vicky.
Hi.
Vicky Robinson, occupational therapist. So, morning, everybody. I'm gonna warn you straight away. If I look like I've been up all night crying, I haven't. Vicky might have been because we've got children who don't want to sleep. I am suffering with super bad hay fever, so I think through the month of June we are going to see live Kate's hay fever progress, which we will all enjoy. But I am here live, so on the Kate Carney UK page and the Martin SOS group with the lovely Vicky Robinson, who we've got to know each other quite well over the past few days. We've been
have, bless you. You've been a little lifesaver. You are my little lifesaver.
Vicky has got a lot going on. So what I'm going to do is let Vicky introduce herself. I'm going to talk about what she's got going on at the moment, which is very relevant because we've been working together over the weekend, and then share with us some tips around some stuff. Echoing. Sarah said we're echoing. We'll try not to echo, Sarah. We'll try not to. Got some tips for us around everything she does, particularly around handwriting and children's handwriting. So, Vicky, tell us who you are. Introduce yourself for us, please, lovely.
Okie dokie. So my name is Vicky Robinson and I'm a children's occupational therapist. Some people may or may not know what an occupational therapist is. Some people have no idea unless they've kind of come across an OT. But if anyone has any questions they can ask, I won't go into all of that right now. But basically, I work with children and parents, and I work with parents of children with additional needs to support their child's physical and sensory development. Oh, hi, I've just seen Stacey's in here. Hi, Stacey. So yes, I work with parents of children with additional needs to support their physical and sensory development, and I do that through online therapy services. So I provide online courses, which Kate is massively helping me with at the minute.
We are on it.
And I also do one-to-one consultations as well over Zoom to offer more bespoke and tailored advice and support to parents.
You do indeed. And I think Vicky, were you in my free challenge, the last free challenge? Is that how we...
I was, yeah, that's how I came about you, yeah.
Sure. And we had and anyone that knows kind of who I've worked with and how I work with you, is we have this free call first. And Vicky and I had a free call a week ago, 2 weeks ago, maybe. And from the moment I started talking to Vicky, you were telling me about what you were doing, and I was just laughing and going, "She's got it nailed. The woman's got it absolutely nailed. Why am I even here? Is on it?" And I think over the past few days, I've learned about, a bit about occupational therapy, but specifically what you're doing, and it's kind of a world that even working in the mental health world a little bit, I could do with you in mind, and some of the challenges we have with Poppy. I didn't know kind of the tangible side of what you do. So tell everybody a bit about this free challenge that started last night that's going on, which has been really interesting to look at and learn about. What are we doing in that free challenge?
Yeah, so it's a 5-day free handwriting challenge, and it came about because handwriting is something that I work with children on every single day. So I get loads and loads of referrals. So I've been in the NHS for over 16 years now, working as a children's OT, and I get loads of referrals for handwriting issues. So I know how much of a big issue it is. But obviously at the moment, when everyone's at home and doing home learning, all of a sudden parents are wanting so much more information about handwriting and how to support their child. And I know a lot of parents are finding it really difficult to engage their child in writing, to get them motivated. It's just so tricky, isn't it? Like kids just often will not do things for parents that they will do for teachers. So there's so many different elements to supporting a child's handwriting development. But what I decided to focus on in the 5-day challenge was engagement and supporting parents with strategies that they could literally start on that day, every single day of the challenge, to be able to engage their child in writing. Because at the end of the day, if your child is struggling with writing or is a reluctant writer, if you can't get them to engage, then you're really going to struggle to then work on their skills. Like, you have to get them engaged in the first place. So every day of the challenge, we're looking at different strategies to give you ideas of things that you can do to prepare your child for learning and prepare them for handwriting. We're talking about invitations to play, so we're weaving in handwriting sneakily into play opportunities. So it's all about sneaky learning. What else are we working on? We're working towards then having some focused time with handwriting. So all of the strategies that you're learning throughout the week in the challenge is leading up to then knowing exactly how to get your child engaged in handwriting. So we've just been talking about it there before we came on live, and I'm just giving so much away within this 5-day challenge. Once I get talking.
Yeah, anyone that's trying to set up a 3-day challenge, and we know that fine balance from a business perspective of how much you give away, but we know that people can't actually copy your content, and people need that valuable stuff, and you give it and you get it back. It comes back in clients, whether that's immediately in your course that I know you're going to start running in June, or over the longer term. But honestly, after speaking to Ashley last week and my brain going over the weekend, you over the weekend, and now this today, I'm thinking, surely all my parenting flaws are going to be covered up. All of my are going to be taken care of. So how old? Poppy's 6, right? My Poppy's 6, or nearly 6. But how old are the children that you are talking about, that you're working with?
So in the challenge, I'm keeping it quite broad because the topic that we're covering around engagement, the strategies can really be used for any age of child. And you can just kind of tweak it to meet your child's level, where they're at kind of in the terms of their age and where they're at developmentally as well. Because obviously there's some parents in there who have children with additional needs, and some parents who have children who are typically developing as well. So I'm keeping the strategies really simple, and you as parents know your child best. You are the expert in your child. So when I give you these strategies, yes, you are. You are. So when I'm giving you these strategies, it's about kind of just sowing that seed that you can then tweak it for each individual child that you're kind of thinking about when you're in that challenge. So we've got parents of children as young as 2, all the way up to, I think the oldest child we've got in there is 14. So there's a massive big age range. And then, like you mentioned, we're kind of going to lead on to a handwriting course following this, which will be a little bit more specific in terms of the target client group, because then I can get really specific with strategies and tips and loads of advice to support your child's handwriting development.
I think it's really nice. This whole subject matter is really interesting because as a parent, so I've got a nearly 8, a nearly 6-year-old, and I think handwriting is just something I guess I kind of take for granted. I kind of just assume it'll be okay, and we've got the books with the tracing letters and the letter formation, but actually as soon as I go to show Poppy one of those, it's like, I'm not doing work, that's work. It's not work by
worksheet. Death by worksheet, that's what I call it.
It's got a colourful cover to it. It's not work, it says and I think the focus on engagement, and that for me, this sneaky ways of which getting them to write, because Poppy will write and she'll go blah 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 blah, and I'm like, did you use real letters? And she's like, no, I just wrote blah blah blah, because her imagine, she's off in her imagination. And if we can tie those two things together in some way, if I can get her to actually want to write letters so I can read it, or at least make some attempt at reading, that's a massive. I might do this challenge. Another thing for me to do. I might do the challenge.
You can't fit it in because of all the work I'm giving you to
do. Brilliant. So we know that we've got this free challenge. And how many people have you got in your free challenge course this week?
Well, I'm getting people being invited and added into it all the time. I'm so overwhelmed by it, actually. I thought I might get, 40, 50 people in it. I've got, I think this morning I checked, and there's about 260 odd people in it, which is just amazing. And I think it just goes to show how much of a hot topic it is at the moment because of, the situation that we're in as well.
And are these people come from a Facebook group that you already had, or how have you tell everybody, because this is an amazing thing. You've got this 260 odd people, and trust me, as a marketer, I know what your Facebook ad spend would be on average to get those amount of people. How have you got those people into your group or into this challenge?
Fluke. No. Well, to be honest, I'm like Kate, knowing me this weekend, I just kind of put it out there and see what happens. So I've got quite a decent following on Instagram. So obviously I've been promoting it on Instagram. Okay. So last week, what I did, so I've got Instagram and I've got Facebook. Both my pages have kind of got a decent following, Instagram more so. And then I do have a Facebook group as well, which has grown through doing this challenge, but actually it wasn't a massive group to start with. But I think the key to what I did was last week, so the week before the challenge, every week I was just putting out content daily about handwriting and about the challenges that parents are having and offering them some solutions. So I was kind of working everything towards the challenge, and then obviously doing a call to action. I do listen to things that you say, Kate. Putting a call to action on each post, directing them to the free workshop. So it was kind of just getting people in that mindset and thinking about writing, and just really letting them know how I can solve their problems through handwriting challenge.
So going with a specific, that's the beauty. You've been going with a specific challenge. You're not talking about everything to do with occupational health. You're talking about a specific challenge, which is very timely right now. Put a call to action on. We've been setting up landing pages and email sales funnels, to make sure we've got the data, because what you want, everybody, is when you've got a group or a challenge, you want to have their email details so that you can give them some further information, and we can, of course, have a sales funnel to push them towards your next free challenge. Facebook user sounds very interesting. Can the Facebook group link be put in the comments afterwards, please? Vicky, would you like me to share the link for the landing page maybe, so people could sign up and then go through to the group?
Yeah, that would be great. Brilliant. Thank you.
Because Vicky's given out some super useful, sorted out yesterday, some super useful tools that you need throughout the challenge. So if you're happy, Vicky, for people to join, get those tools last night and join, then that would be great. See more users.
Yeah. Good time to start, because we started officially last night. I did the first live last night, but day one is officially today. So the task that I gave last night is being implemented today. So it's a good time to start. We're not too far wrong.
Can you tell us, Vicky, or give us some tips, or is there anything you can tell me about what you did last night? Because I don't know the detail of what you went through last night. I started to watch on live at 8 o'clock out of one eye with hay fever, but if I watched all of my clients' challenges and lives, I would have no time. I was lying in bed like one eye on Vicky on camera. So tell us what you asked them to do last night to get them prepared for this week's challenge.
Yeah, so yes, last night was the first topic, and it was about preparing your child to learn and setting them up for success. And I think this is something, like you were just saying, Kate, you kind of just take handwriting for, what's the word that you use? For granted, that's the word. And you kind of just assume that kids are going to be able to just sit and do their work, which obviously we know that they can't. So a lot of the time parents really, really struggle with getting their child to engage, which is where this whole premise of this challenge came about. So I really wanted to start day one with tips to engage your child in a way that's going to prepare them and set them up for success. So we talked a lot about introducing movement into learning and into handwriting last night, because a lot of parents think actually you need to be sat at a table to do writing. Whereas from my point of view, if you've got a child who is a reluctant writer or disengaged, you want to just get rid of the table, get rid of the chair, and you want to just bring movement into their learning. Kids think it's great. They don't realize they're doing writing. They don't realize they're learning. And actually, when they're moving their body, you're actually firing up all the synapses in their brain. And even if you only get 5 minutes of learning or handwriting in that period of time, you're supercharging the learning, because the blood's flowing to the brain, the oxygen's flowing to the brain, so they're taking in so much more information. It's like a little sponge. So I talked yesterday about really specific activity ideas that you can do if you've got a child who is really overactive and you need to calm them down in order to concentrate and learn and do writing. And on the flip side, whether you've got a child who a lot of parents describe as a couch potato, and you need to kind of jivvy them up a little bit and get them more alert, ready for learning. So I give some strategies and some movement ideas that you could do for both ends of the spectrum. So hopefully that has helped a lot of parents to kind of work out why their child may not be engaging from a attention and concentration perspective. So we need to get a child in that just right level for learning in order for them to actually get the best out of their learning opportunities. So that's what yesterday was all about.
Vicky, I am sat here thinking that I have made a kitchen bench of doom, because it is can you sit and one of them will like love it. She'll sit there, pens, and Poppy, I feel like I have got to physically pin her to the bench, and then it's the worksheet, and I'm just, between you and Ashley, I'm kind of like flooded both with self-doubt and with excitement.
Oh
no. The movement thing is really interesting. And someone's commented, yes, this is my daughter's quite a male brain and learns so much better when she's moving. That's Poppy as well.
Yeah. And it's the majority of children do need movement for learning, some more than others. And I guess it's kind of the children that need a lot of movement are the ones that generally I see through my business, because parents struggle to engage them in learning activities and they want to know how I can do that. And I really support them through using movement and showing them how to incorporate movement into their play and into their learning. But even children who don't necessarily need a lot of movement for learning, they would still massively benefit from this as well. But it's as with everything, there's always a spectrum, isn't there, of children who need a little bit of something and children who need a big bit of something. But just when you mentioned there about kind of thinking, oh no, what am I doing? Like, what I just want to say is this challenge and my whole approach is not about saying, you're doing this wrong, you should be doing it like this. It's massively, and this is kind of what I was saying yesterday in the challenge, this is all about what your child can do and then building on that, not what your child can't do. So the screening tool that you mentioned before, that everyone gets access to free in the challenge, it's about placing your child in a group, but that group is not your child is age 3, so they should be doing this and this. And if they're not doing that, then there's something wrong. It is about, oh God, my battery thing's just flashed up. I might need to run and get my charger. It's about, this is where my child is at developmentally, regardless of their age. So this is where we start, because quite often with engagement, if children are struggling to engage, it's often because we're pushing them too far and too hard without consolidating those skills that they actually need in order to then move forward.
Honestly, the documents that you've been sending me, and I've been reading stuff, and Vicky and I have been building landing pages and stuff between us over the past few days. And I said, right, we're going to build it all, and then we're going to go back and read it and check it. I am going to read them PDFs, my darling. I'm going to hashtag replay on your free challenge from last night. I'll put an ice pack on my eyes in a minute and watch it through one eye.
Yeah.
Well, that is super useful, Vicky. So we've got battery issues, we know, and I've got hay fever issues, and you have not slept enough for a woman who's running an amazing challenge this
3 o'clock.
I'm going to go downstairs like I did off the back of a call with Ashley on Friday, when I was like, Poppy, tell me other things you think you're great at, and I was all inspired. I'm gonna think of I'm going to look at what you've done in your free challenge so far, and think about how I can apply that to Poppy. So
brilliant.
What we will do, Vicky, is if I drop the link. Thanks, Stacey. Look, Stacey's showing the love. Hi, Stacey.
Thanks, Stacey.
What I will do is if I drop the link in the comments section to your landing page.
Brilliant.
Page for our free challenge.
Look at me being all posh. Nothing to do with it. It was all Kate.
They will then they'll receive the email. The email will talk about last night's live. So we're going to ignore that, ignore the email that talks about last night's live. And instead, we want them to come into the group and want to look at the freebies. Oh, Claire, this sounds great. Definitely to find out more. Oh, hi, Claire. Oh, hi, Claire. I'm a Parisian friend. Hello, Claire. So we'll pop that link. In fact, you know what? I'm even going to do it. Let me see. I'm going to do it right now so that people can find it. Give us a second. So let's get them into here. Because we want these people to come and experience this and all of your expertise. And I think, Vicky, you are doing something which is going to resonate with a lot of people. Let's just check. I'm going to give some access. And your conversion rate is amazing. One of the things, a marketeer, I would say the conversion rate, you've obviously got a very engaged group because the conversion rate from your giving people a link through to signing.
They're amazing. They're amazing. Like, everyone is just engaging so much. It's brilliant. And it kind of really makes the challenge as well. It's like really fun. I'm really enjoying doing it because you're getting that interaction and you know that you're kind of giving value as well because they're just responding really well to it. So it's fab.
Well, let's give them this. There we go. Free 5-day challenge, everybody. Here you can see it. Come on in. You'll get a link to the Facebook group. You'll be sent over to the Facebook group. Join the Facebook group. They can watch your live from last night, I'm guessing, Vicky. And then they'll have the documents. And it's all, hey, the beauty of this, folks, is some of this is automated. This is what we do in digital marketing. We automate some of this stuff to make it as easy as possible for you to sell, customers to buy, customers to get the information that they need. Okie dokie. All right, Vicky. Well, thank you so much. I look forward to watching this free challenge with interest. And we'll get on all the other little bits that we're going to be doing. But thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
My pleasure. This is the first in the month of June. You've kicked off the month of live videos. I will also download this, put this onto YouTube and put it on my YouTube channel so you can have that link as well if you want it, Vicky.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure to share that one. Lovely comments. Right then, folks, we'll leave you to the rest of your day, and I'll see you at 9:30 tomorrow morning. See you later, Vicky.
Bye. Thanks,
everybody. Bye.